はGojiraです! Hello everyone, welcome to my first ever film review. My name is Tyler, and this has been a long time coming, actually. I mean, I started this YouTube channel with the intent of doing film reviews, but it turned into a vlog series about eggs, so I don't know what the fuck happened there. But let's get to it. Now, I actually already write weekly comic book reviews for a website called Dark Knight News, link in the description below. Wow, shameless plug there. But as a film student, and an actor, and a lover of films, and a lover of actors, I figure this is the next best logical step. You know, making film reviews on YouTube. So, as you've probably gathered by the title of the video, the poorly pronounced Japanese at the beginning, and the fact that there was just two big words on the screen that read film review, this is a film review of the original Godzilla movie, the 1954 black and white Japanese version. Not to be confused with the 1956 one, the bad one, or the new one. Now, at this point, you're probably thinking, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's talking shit on the Roland Emmerich movie. But the truth is, I've never actually seen a Godzilla movie. Now, this is a fan base that I've long since wanted to be involved with, but I've just never been a part of it, you know? And with Kong Skull Island coming out this week, I figure what better time to jump in than right now. So, my plan of action is I'm going to view the original film, as well as the 2014 Godzilla, which has ties to Kong Skull Island, and compare the pair. So I'm not going to launch into the history of the film or the franchise. If you're watching this, there's a good chance you already know what's going on. Whereas I would just be reading words off the internet, and I don't really read words. I can't read. Now, going into this movie blind, I had an idea of what this story might be like already. You know, giant lizard wrecks up Tokyo, people try to stop it, ultimately prevail in the end somehow. But in actual fact, that's only a really small part of the movie. Now, in doing some post-viewing research, I stumbled across a collection of charts made by a Mr. Dave Smigel? I never figured out how to say his name. Mr. Dave did a rundown of the entire Godzilla franchise to date. You know, all 30 films. 30 films. I didn't know what I was getting into when I started this. And these charts show the exact percentage of time that Godzilla is on screen for each of his retrospective movies. Retrospective movies? Now, in this original film, Mr. Zilla only occupies 8 minutes 44 seconds of the whole 96-minute film, which is about 9.1% of the entire film. Now, I look like I just did that in my head, but I have it written in front of me. No one does maths in their head anymore, right? Now, 9.1% doesn't sound like that long, but in all honesty, it felt like a lot longer than that when I was watching the movie. But okay, if he's only on screen for 9.1% of the entire film, what is the rest of the movie if not mad wanton destruction? Well, the story's actually a really horrific and familiar one. I wasn't completely aware of this going in, but Godzilla's actually a metaphor for the atomic bomb. The more you know. Everyone knows that. I didn't, though. So this really took me by surprise when I went into the movie and saw all of this. You know, the creation of this lizard comes from underwater H-bomb tests that shook the foundation of the Earth and pretty much radiated this thing back to life. As they say in the film, Godzilla was baptized in the fires of the H-bomb and survived. It's pretty terrifying, actually. Director Ishiro Honda has stated that he shot the film to parallel the devastation and destruction of an atomic bomb attack, with him outright stating, quote, "If Godzilla had been a dinosaur or some other animal, he would have been killed by just one cannonball. But if he were equal to an atomic bomb, we wouldn't know what to do. So I took the characteristics of an atomic bomb and applied them to Godzilla." End quote. This becomes more and more clear as the film goes on, with some of these scenes actually looking like B-roll from Nagasaki or Hiroshima. And these events are referenced all throughout the film by almost every character, with one person outright stating, quote, "I barely escaped the atomic bomb in Nagasaki, and now this," end quote. Now, it's heartbreaking to see this film now in 2017 as an Australian, but for this film to be released so close to the end of World War II, with everything still fresh in people's minds, it's ridiculous. I can't fathom what this film must have been like. What adds to the effect of this even further is the way the film is shot and edited together. I mean, the first 20 minutes of this film before Godzilla shows up feel like somebody's just cut together footage from a news broadcast or a documentary. It just feels so real. Like one day they walked down, set up their cameras on some random beach in Japan and went, "Oh yeah, we'll film these guys, that'll be good." Now, I'm about to go into spoiler territory for the end of the film, so if you haven't seen it yet, it came out 63 years ago, watch it. I watched it, you can watch it too. Just fucking do it, man. It's a good film. I liked it. Spoiler alert. Now, I didn't know how I expected this movie to wrap up. You know, giant lizard wrecking Tokyo. Where does it end? Well, it ends with me crying, that's where it ends. I didn't expect to cry in this film. Like, at all. At all. But watching Dr. Serizawa sacrifice himself to save not only Japan, but the whole world, was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. I didn't even like the guy that much. Like, I didn't even know what his name was until they screamed it out at the end. That's how little he meant to me during the film. But like watching him kill himself at the end was way more than I could handle. I was not prepared for that. Where you take it from 0 to 100 real quick. I mean, one scene prior, we see him say, "Oh, I don't want my invention to fall into the wrong hands. It could be used as a weapon." And then in the very next scene, he's underwater about to kill Godzilla. He cuts his oxygen tube and dies. It was beautiful. It was really beautiful. Now, there's no way I can discuss this final scene without bringing up the soundtrack. The soundtrack was amazing. And the person we have to thank for that is Akira Ifukube. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong. But honestly, his score for the entire film was incredible. Like, the lack of dialogue with those strings layered over it, minimal sound effects, incredible. That's what got me emotional. The music, it always does. It always gets me. Now, Akira worked on almost every Godzilla movie in his lifetime, or had his scores used in almost every Godzilla movie in his lifetime, even some after his death. Most notably, he composed the opening theme that was used in many of the original films, but then was later changed to another opening theme, which he also composed. So, nice going, Mr. Akira. You did us proud. You did us all proud. And I mean, there isn't really much more I can say about the soundtrack. It added a lot of tension to the movie, and made some of those rubber suit scenes with him destroying Mega Blocks actually scary. Like, I was actually pretty scared at some points, you know? Like, not really, but I sort of was, like... And I mean, there were a lot of those scenes. There were a lot of those scenes. I mean, yeah, it was cheesy, sure, but it was the 50s. Come on, what are you gonna do? I loved the cheesiness of this movie, but then again, I own almost the entire Doctor Who classic series on DVD, so I'm not really one to talk, I think. Now, I know I said earlier that this film felt real. I also just said it felt cheesy, so what's the deal there? Well, in the end, it all comes down to how everything worked together. You know, the soundtrack made those rubber suit scenes terrifying, the editing made everything look legit, but the acting is what really did it for me. Now, one of the standout performances in my eyes was from legendary actor Takashi Shimura, who I actually recognized immediately as Kanbei Shimada from The Seven Samurai, you know, the other classic Japanese film that came out in 1954. What a guy. Now, Takashi Shimura plays the paleontologist Dr. Yamane, and he appeared alongside a cast of wonderful other characters, including Solid Snake, Mr. Puts on his hat before his jacket, and Emiko, who I can't really think of a joke for because her whole character's just a fucking joke. Wow, that was edgy. All in all, these four main actors, as well as the dozens of other side characters and extras, make up one of the best ensemble casts I've ever seen in a film. Honestly, they all play off each other so beautifully, and they bring to life this really moving story that could have easily just been a tragic film about a man with a rubber suit fetish who liked destroying Lego cities of Tokyo. Lego Cities of Tokyo. Isn't that a band? No, that's Birds of Tokyo. Shit. So, in conclusion, yeah, it was alright. I didn't know what expectations I had going into this movie, but it certainly blew all of them away. I mean, I was really impressed by it. And I don't know, there's a lot more that I really want to talk about in great detail, but I don't want to make this video 1,000 years long. So I might publish an expanded text review sometime. But I don't know, I'm not making promises about blog posts and whatnot. Like, I don't even know when I'm bringing out my videos. Like, I'm not going to start promising you blogs as well. You don't need that. You don't want that. And now, I didn't know whether I was going to do a rating system in this review, but I figure why not? I'll give the review a rating. 7.8 out of 10, too much water. But wait! There's more. I did mention at the beginning that I'm also going to watch the 2014 Godzilla and compare it to this film. So I bet you're wondering, gee, the video's almost over, where's that review? Well, here is where I blow your mind. That's coming in a second part that'll be out in a few days, because I didn't want to make this video, you know, an hour long. So I'm going to bring out a second half of this, and there'll obviously be a link in the description once that comes out. I'll link in the next video back to this one, you know. It'll all be coherent. It'll all come together. I'm way off script right now, and I'm doing this with my hands. I don't know why. So yeah, anyway, Sinnoh confirmed. Part 2 confirmed. Coming in a few days. Make sure you come back for that. It'll be good, I promise. I promise. Thank you guys so much for watching. Honestly, it means the world to me. Whether this video gets 100 views, 100,000 views, 100 million views, it doesn't matter, because every single view I really appreciate. So thank you all from the bottom of my heart for watching. And make sure to hit that like button, comment and let me know what you thought, whether I did a good job, whether you want me to never speak on the internet again. But also make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can come back and find part 2 of this video really easily in a couple of days. Hit the little bell next to it so you get notified whenever I make a video. Because God knows when I make these videos. I have no idea when I'm going to make them. But yes, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can hear more of my opinion on the internet, because I am a special snowflake and I matter. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.